So this morning my administration went to the court to ask them to intervene in what we believe is an unconstitutional provision that the House snuck into last year's budget, allowing the legislature essentially a veto over the marijuana regulations. I will say this isn't a decision I made lightly, and frankly it's something you hope to avoid, but I felt it was important to do because Rhode Islanders deserve to have confidence in their government, and separation of powers was put into our Constitution to protect taxpayers and protect Rhode Islanders from corruption. It is basic checks and balances to make sure that we move away from the old way of doing business. We move away from the old model of special deals for special people, political influence, and connectedness coming into businesses getting special favors. And I want to send a strong signal to the people of Rhode Island. That's the old way of doing business. That is not the Rhode Island of today. Let's have this be a place of transparency, equal footing, and no more special deals for special people. So people have said to me, was it necessary? Why did you do it? As I said, it's not something you like to do. This is bigger than just the marijuana regulations. I think it's important to let people know Rhode Island is open for business. Everybody has a chance to compete, and it's not just for the politically connected.
When you say, you want to be against corruption and special deals, it sort of brings to mind what a lot of us have been covering very closely in Fall River with Mayor Jason Correa being accused of taking bribes from marijuana vendors there. Are you afraid of something similar unfolding here?
That's exactly what you worry about. That is exactly what you worry about. So the medical marijuana business it's a new industry. It's a growing industry. It's an opportunity for Rhode Island, right? It's an opportunity to create revenue and to create jobs. But it's also an opportunity for corruption. Anytime the state is passing out licenses, this state or any other state, it's an opportunity for corruption. You just flagged what happened in Fall River. None of that in Rhode Island. None of that will happen here. And that is why I feel so strongly about this. It's a new industry. Let's get it right. As I said, this was snuck into a budget, and it's time, I think, to put some sunshine on it, bring it to the court, and let's let the court make a decision, I hope enforce the Constitution, and just, again, let Rhode Islanders know we're not going to have corruption in this. It's not the old way of doing business. What happened in Fall River isn't going to happen here because we're going to take it seriously.
Did you have knowledge that Speaker Mattiello's chief of staff was connected to the hemp industry?
I didn't until I read about it, as everyone else did. But again, that's another red flag. It's just another thing that erodes people's confidence in government, and just another reason why we need to play this above board, totally transparently. We are going to most likely be offering regulations in the form of a lottery. No special deals for special people. That's old Rhode Island. We're moving to a new way of doing business.
The Speaker said he was going to pass legislation early in the session to take the veto out. Why not wait for that?
Yeah, that's interesting. That is a abrupt and rapid change in his position after he got wind that we were going to file this lawsuit. We talked to him extensively before he put this in the budget. He kind of sloughed off the concern. Obviously, I put it in my budget message, my submission letter, and if he's serious about that, then hopefully he will drop any opposition to this suit, let the court weigh in, protect good government, and then we can move forward.
Okay, well, it's important for the court to weigh in and render an opinion.
I do. For the reasons I said, this is about making sure we get the regulatory structure right for medical marijuana, but it is bigger than that. It is about letting Rhode Islanders know the checks and balances that we have in our Constitution, we take them seriously. And I think it's important that the court weighs in, clarifies that, and just gives confidence to the people of Rhode Island that there's not going to be political influence in the way these licenses are given out.
Governor, you used the word a couple times, snuck into the budget. Are you implying that there was already some shenanigans in play?
I want to look this way.
Sure.
No, I am not implying any shenanigans, but what I'm saying is, it was tucked into a $9 billion budget without any discussion, without any hearings, without any transparency. And until now, until we have filed this lawsuit, there hasn't really been any discussion about it. So I'm saying, let's put some sunshine on this. Let's put some sunshine on it. Let's give people what they deserve, which is a confidence in a transparent, professionally run government.
Governor, sort of riffing off of Tom's question, it seems like you might be implying that Speaker Mattiello and some of the people that he surrounds himself with might be open to taking some of these sort of backroom deals, and that there needs to be sunshine shown on what's going on. Is that what you're implying?
No, I am not. By the way, this isn't at all personal. You know, you brought up the concern about Fall River. That's a red flag. I have to do everything I can to let Rhode Islanders know that's not going to happen here. This isn't personal. This is a much more fundamental issue, which is, you know, Rhode Island, so many people work so hard for separation of powers. So many people, Rhode Island, look, this kind of a provision is reminiscent of the old way of doing things in Rhode Island. The old, when legislators gave special favors to their friends and connected folks. And I just think it's important to let Rhode Island know we're not doing it that way anymore. This is a new way of doing business. You know, frankly, we're here today. I had meetings in this building, and I said, bring the media here, because this is the new way of Rhode Island. New jobs, new industries, everybody gets a fair shake. And we can't afford to have any backsliding to the old way of doing things.
Thank you. On marijuana, I know you didn't go to the summit last week in New York City,
Yeah.
but the
I sent
governors
a
were there,
team.
you sent
Yeah.
a team there. Do you foresee that all the states will have similar taxation of marijuana? There seemed to be some discussion that some states were afraid that if it was cheaper in one state, all the customers would run.
Yeah, I don't know. So this is an excellent question, and I think we're all trying to figure out the answer. I will say this: it is important that governors in our region, at least, try to collaborate and have similar structures, because we are so close to one another. But we're not there yet. You know, like, we haven't legalized, Massachusetts has, so it's something we're going to have to work through.